From the facts we know about his role to what type of character he'll play, here's everything we know about Keanu Reeves turning into a villain for Will Smith's I Am Legend 2. A sequel to Will Smith's I Am Legend has long been talked about. For years now, fans have eagerly waited for any news on the production of the film. Many lost hope that the movie would never see the light of day. But now, we're finally learning more about this highly anticipated movie and who Keanu Reeves is playing. That's right, Keanu Reeves is going to enter the I Am Legend world for the sequel, and he's playing a type of character he never really gets to play: a villain. We all love Reeves, it's hard not to. So many people easily recognize him as hero material thanks to his iconic roles in movies like The Matrix. His recent resurgence in popularity thanks to the John Wick movies has only increased how much fans love to see him on the big screen. To hear he's going to play the main villain in I Am Legend 2, that's more than a little interesting. Reeves very rarely ever plays a villain, as he's often typecasted into the hero role. But now, with this career move, we could see what a Keanu Reeves villain is all about. It'll definitely be a sight to see. At the moment, there isn't a ton of facts to go around about Reeves' villain. The powers that be over at Warner Brothers haven't even officially announced Reeves' role yet. Upon their press release, we might get a character name or something to go off of, but much of I Am Legend 2 has been kept under wraps thus far, so not knowing much about Reeves' character isn't too surprising. All we really know about the film is that Warner Brothers is fast-tracking the movie as they want to film and release it sooner rather than later. If you've seen I Am Legend, you're probably wondering how in the world a sequel can happen, especially when you learn that Will Smith is involved with the project and set to star. After all, didn't Smith's character, Dr. Robert Neville, die at the end of the first movie? Here's everything we know about the plot of I Am Legend 2 thus far. Smith is set to return as Dr. Robert Neville, but Michael B. Jordan is also set to star in the sequel as a new character. That alone makes the movie very interesting. Smith and Jordan up against Reeves? A trio dream team in many ways. But how can Smith return? At the end of I Am Legend, Smith's character sacrificed himself. Also, he could try to save the cure. In the I Am Legend world, a plague transforms humans into bloodthirsty, vampire-like mutants. Dr. Robert Neville is one of the only humans left alive, and he's immune to this plague. So, he tries to create a cure throughout the movie, as well as find other human survivors. At the end of the film, he dies all for this cure. Now, if you've seen the alternate ending of the movie, then you know that Smith's character lives. And that's the ending Warner Brothers is going to use to allow Smith back into the I Am Legend universe. In this alternate ending, he survived. But does this mean that a cure was able to then save all humanity? Well, that remains to be seen. After all, one of the only other facts we know about the I Am Legend sequel is that it will be placed decades after the first movie. In this way, we'll be able to see how civilization fully collapsed long after the plague first began to cause chaos. But we also might see that the cure that Dr. Robert Neville worked so tirelessly on hasn't fully saved humanity or civilization. There's only so much one man can do. The producer of the film, Akiva Goldsman, is very excited about the sequel. He discussed The Last of Us when talking about what fans can expect from the new movie. Goldman loves the idea of seeing how civilization and humanity have fared decades after a virus outbreak, so we're sure to see a lot of this in the sequel. Specifically, Goldman likes the idea of seeing nature reclaim the planet. As the sequel will seemingly continue to be set in New York, this will be very interesting to see. Goldman has also explained that this new sequel will fully follow the first movie's alternate ending, but it'll stay truer to the source material, the 1954 novel by Richard Matheson. As for the other characters involved in this new movie, we don't know much. We don't even know what kind of character Michael B. Jordan is playing. Unfortunately, we also don't know when the movie will finally be released. The whole production of the film is still in the very early stages, and it doesn't appear that a director has even been chosen for the movie yet. Though some people think that the first movie's director, Francis Lawrence, might get the gig. Even though Lawrence has talked a bit about the sequel, he's been vague, so we really don't know if he'll end up being a part of the sequel or not. But we do know that Warner Brothers is fast-tracking the film as they are excited about it. Because it's a big movie studio production, we might have a long time ahead to wait for it. thanks to filming, post-production, and more. Other than these little tidbits, we don't know anything else about I Am Legend 2. As production fully begins on the movie, we'll likely get a bit more info, and maybe even more about the plot and who Keanu Reeves is playing. Already, fans are wondering what type of villain Reeves will be. As the plot of the movie is still up in the air, there's no telling what kind of character Reeves may portray, but there are a few interesting options that fans would love to see. As the story is set in a post-apocalyptic world, we could see Reeves play some type of human leader of a faction, clan, or group. We've all seen enough of these types of movies and shows to know that these human leaders tend to be ruthless. Of the humans left in the world, it always seems like the worst people survive more than anyone. So Reeves could play a villainous leader of a community that Dr. Robert Neville finds. As this is a post-apocalyptic world we're talking about, Reeves' character could be distrustful of just about everyone, which could lead him to do villainous things. Now, we don't know too much about how evil Reeves' character will be. Could he be a full villain with no redeeming qualities? Or will he be a man driven to do terrible things because of the new world he lives in? Will he be a man that people understand, even though he's not a hero? Some fans are already speculating that Reeves' character could have something to do with the Darkseekers. Remember, this sequel is going to take place decades after the first film. What will the Darkseekers be at this point in time? These vampire-like creatures could be completely different than what the first movie showed, only because time has allowed them to possibly grow and evolve. So fans would love to see Reeves as some sort of Darkseeker leader. If this is the case, we could see Reeves have a clan of mutants, and they could have the intent of overtaking the humans that are left. If this happens, then Reeves would be a full-fledged villain, and nicely set him up against Will Smith's character. Because Reeves is so often associated with hero-like characters, the writers of I Am Legend 2 could use this to their advantage. They know how fans are going to react when they see Reeves on the screen. Audiences will immediately trust and root for him. So writers could use this and then give us a few more twists to what Reeves' character is and what he's capable of. A complex, fully developed villain that Reeves can sink his teeth into? That makes audiences question whether they can trust him or not? Well, that would be really exciting to see. Regardless of what type of villain Reeves will play, we do know he's going to be the antagonist of the story, and that alone makes this upcoming sequel very exciting, simply because we never get to see Reeves in roles like this. Thank goodness Warner Brothers is putting this movie on the fast track. So, from fan ideas of what kind of villain Reeves will play, to the facts that we know about his upcoming role, this was everything we know about Keanu Reeves turning into a villain for Will Smith's I Am Legend 2.